Welcome everybody back to All About the Orville, Episode 8, Into the Fold. This is where we take the comments from this episode and then we respond to them. Starting out with the most popular comments and working our way down. We're going to start out with Scoldworm. I like that we got some more insight into Isaac, and he seems to be evolving. I wonder if Isaac is named after Isaac Asimov? I assume Seth is a fan. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. I just looked it up, and it's some scientist... biology guy so I'm assuming Isaac Newton.
Oh, that's Isaac Newton. That's what I was about to say. I'm probably thinking more of that, but you could be right. Who knows? I'm pretty sure when the Blu-ray comes out, maybe that'll be in the bonus feature section.
Oh yeah, there's also a book I saw that's on Amazon for pre-order.
Yeah, definitely might have to buy that in January.
We'll do a review of that when that comes out. But there's some more comments. I think everyone's kind of guessing Isaac Newton and stuff like that. So that's I always wondered. It's an Earth name. So did he choose that name, or was he designated that name when he went onto the Orville?
You think his species would be like, I'm designation 756, yeah.
I think he picked it to be more familiar with humans. And,
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we'll get more of that. Isaac was a cool character.
I want to see his home planet. I hope they have an episode of that. I want to see it.
So we got Jonathan Earl. Isaac is totally the missing link between Data and 3CPO. Even his voice sounds like an eerie mixture of Data and 3CPO. Exactly, he is kind of that in between, where 3CPO was like full robot weird, and then Data was like almost
become essentially human.
So he's like right in the middle. He's Data without the human-looking skin.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like that. That's a good comparison. I thought that was
I
really
like
cool.
the fact that he's short to the point, though. That's what I like.
Oh, and he's so. He can't be full of himself because he doesn't have emotions, but he's full of
himself. As he said, he goes, well, I do know a lot more than most humans, so it's not a boast, it's just a fact.
Yeah, when Dr. Finn was like, some people think their species is more superior. My species is superior. It's like, it's just a fact. It's not an opinion.
Yeah, it's not a boast, yep. That's funny.
And we have another comment from Jonathan Earl. Wow, this episode was pretty darn serious. I like the episode. The Orville will always have a Next Generation vibe to it. This episode 8, however, also had a Voyager DS9 vibe to it. Main character stranded on an unknown planet. Through episode 6 is still my favorite. This episode had a great survival storyline to it. More of an action, drama, sci-fi. We need episodes like this every once in a while, and The Orville is still exceeding my expectations. My favorite TV series on TV right now is The Orville. Also, I can't be the only one who hears a similarity between Isaac's voice and Next Generation's Data's voice. The two voices don't sound exactly alike, but they do sound very similar. I think that whole point is because of the way they speak. That very robotic way of speaking because they can't get those human mannerisms down just right.
But another thing that's different, but the distinction I will make between him and Data want to become more human. Isaac's the observer, looking at human folly, and they want to see all the different facets of it. So there's a little bit of difference between the two, but like in terms of style, I can see the similarities.
And of the adventure episode, a survival episode, it's good to have these to kind of break up. Because I know a lot of people kept complaining about like every episode's like a moral lesson. This was a good adventure story, survival, and it shows you, sometimes in life, you're a mom, you try to get to your kids, and people are standing between you and your children. You gotta fight them.
Especially in a life or death situation. I mean, again, I felt kind of bad for the guy, but at the same time, the guy I know he was lonely, but at that point, you can't keep someone captive.
Against their will.
Yeah.
She wanted to get out, and she could help you, but I don't think he even believed her.
No.
Jen Bear, I look forward to reviews as much as the show itself. Well, thank you. We love doing these. It. They're fun. We love talking about sci-fi. We said this in earlier podcasts and episodes where this is what we would do normally. We would watch a sci-fi thing and then we would talk about it.
Guys, realize if you had a recorder with us all day long, you would talk like this all the time. It's not what we are.
We just something pops in our head like, this thing in Star Wars, and then we'll start talking about it. Oh, this thing in Trek, and we'll start talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just decided one day to start recording, and thank you. We enjoy doing this.
We appreciate it for the compliment.
Next comment, SJ Pace 1776. Isaac's becoming my favorite character. I really hope we meet others of his species and maybe his home planet to see how he relates to his own kind and if these experiences have changed him. I'm starting to think that Isaac is he became fond of the two children.
Yeah.
So his species, right at the beginning, he'd be like, human children are a big waste of time. But now he's starting to feel that kind of family, maybe they don't have that kind of feeling on their planet.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping they have an episode where it's all about him running a report to his people. Yeah. And I want to see how they're going to take how he says, because he's starting to get a fondness of him. Not really a feeling, but a familiarity. I like these people.
And the very idea that this robot species is starting to see not necessarily the benefits of being human, but that it's okay to be organic.
Yeah, exactly.
He's starting to sway that. I like Isaac. It's cool to see that outsider focusing on something that's completely foreign.
And another thing I want to say, too, about Isaac, he has a very 1950s robot feel to him, the way he looks. I kind of like that. It fits really well for the character.
So we have Dimitri Yar. When Seth and Bannon hold their level and expand it, the Orville blows Disco out of the water. And as far as good science fiction, the Orville is so much better than Discovery.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost at this point. If it keeps it up, I want to put an even comparison with Next Generation. If this is like how it is 2-3 years from now, you can make an argument both are really worthy of one or the other at that point, almost equal. I could really see that down the line.
It's just that this episode had a lot of heart in it.
Yeah.
I have yet to feel any heart in Discovery so far. At all. I literally don't care about any of the characters.
No, what I do, I look at it and see how much time's left. Okay, how much time's left to this episode? That's what I do with Discovery.
During this episode, I was like, oh my goodness, is one of these boys going to die? And I was actually generally worried that one of these children were going to die.
I knew he wasn't going to do it.
But it was still, like, I would feel bad if it would have happened. There's people who died in Discovery, and I just shrug my shoulders because I just don't care about those characters.
Anyone can die in Discovery. I could care less. I would not care. Like, okay.
Okay, move the story along.
Get another person.
So, Jen Bear, Claire and her kids were secondary in this episode. For me, the episode was all about Isaac's growth. I don't want to sound heartless, especially as a mom, but I was unmoved by Claire's situation being removed from her children in a dangerous situation, and her reaction to the 3 weeks wait for the Orville. What did warm my heart was Isaac's response in holding her hand and her reaction at the end in regards to her kids. P.S. Being a single mom just isn't about providing for your children materialistically. I know we brought that up, but it does solve a lot of problems when you don't have to worry about money.
Yeah.
It really, really does, because babysitting, going to your job, this world, you can just take your kids with you, pretty much. Like, they're on the ship with her. And she didn't have to worry about, how much they're going to have enough food to eat, and I think everything's taken care of. It's not everything, and I do agree.
But that's why it makes it more ideal that you could have two kids that could grow up to be more successful, because it's in the future, all that. Not saying you can't do it in the past, but it's a lot harder in this time to do it than it is in the future.
And then you brought up how I actually saw this episode as a 50-50. Isaac and Claire and her kids.
Yeah, I thought it was more 50-50
I love Isaac because, like we mentioned before, him becoming more affectionate in a weird way, like as much as a robot computer man can be. Yeah. And I thought Claire, when she was worried about her son dying and everything, that got to me.
I thought it was genuine.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, because her kids. What parent wouldn't want to be concerned for their kids if they were sick? And especially when she was told about the water thing, and all of a sudden her kid has it, she's like, "Oh my god, I got to get to my son now. I can't wait anymore."
So next comment, Billy Deerhead. I love this wonderfully character building episode. Although you said the humor was pretty light, I felt like it was more peppered through the episode to keep things light. My favorite joke was when Isaac suggested terminating Dr. Finn's kids, and she satirically said, well, that's an option, and then Isaac gets up to vaporize them and scares the crap out of her. But when things got more dire towards the end, the humor completely replaced by heartfelt impending tragedy. I especially love how Finn told her son to keep his gun on stun, saying, they may not value life, but we do. Even after all, she was forced to kill 2 of these people, and even though there was a horde of them coming to kill them, and good lord, seeing the back half of the ship break off with Dr. Finn inside was downright bone-chilling. And the graphics there looked good. If it would have looked cheesy, it would have been laughable, but the graphics looked so good in that scene, it was believable that the ship was falling apart. And the thing is,
when you were talking about the humor and all that, I thought that was just like normal situational, like misunderstand because he's a machine, he doesn't understand, and she was just being sarcastic. See, that, it wasn't like, the only jokes, like I said, were obviously was the one when they're going to that, that a wormhole of sorts, and he says glory hole. That's more McFarlane's humor, over the top, silly.
And like the Barry Manilow thing.
But everything else was kind of like
real humor.
Yeah. See, I think there's 2 distinctions. Yeah, there was peppered humor, but it wasn't the normal, typical McFarlane humor, I thought.
And then he brought up the whole, like, keep the guns on stun, because if we can hold them off, you do what you can and don't kill them if you don't have to.
Yeah.
And since that's the perfect world, where if you had a weapon that could just stun someone and not kill them, that would be the ultimate defense, because then you don't have to kill somebody. But even in that dire situation, she still believed in the Union, their protocols of not killing unless
because she had no choice. She had to use the normal gun.
Yeah, because she just had a pistol.
Well, she had to do what she had to do. But once they got their guns back, okay, now we go to stun. Now we can do that now.
So we have Drake Godzilla. Remember, the gun increases your chances of survival by 24%. I find myself always wanting more Orville. It seems to continue with great episode after great episode. I can't really find anything wrong with this series. Isaac is probably my favorite character so far. I love his unfiltered perspective on the world around him and his practical joke jokes. Orville continues to make me want more Orville. I can't wait till the next episode. And great video. I have a feeling I'm going to continue losing my over for this show. It's just a fun show.
Oh yeah,
I'm having fun every week. I love talking about it, coming up with theories and ideas, and how could this work with this? It's just fun sci-fi.
I'm so excited because I've gone to, and you should do this if you have the money and time, go to conventions. I can't wait for the panels on Orville because I think they're going to be so awesome. I just can't wait to talk to other people in person about it. That's going to be great. I'm so looking forward to it. As I go to Phoenix Comic Con every year in the summer, and I can't wait to go to that to talk about Orville.
So, Jonathan Earl, Discovery is in a class of its own. It has no connection whatsoever to the rest of the Star Trek franchise, especially the 24th Century Trek TV series, or the Orville, though there are slight similarities. Both main ships of the show have shuttle bay in the same location, violent villains, both shows based on a crew on a spaceship in space. Both shows are molded after Star Trek. If anything, Star Trek Discovery should be considered the Ralph McQuarrie version of Star Trek as opposed to Gene Roddenberry's version, or the Ralph McQuarrie universe. Yeah, then when talking about, you can't talk about one of these shows without mentioning the other. Yeah. They're just so, because they came out at the same time, same kind of concepts. One person stuck to traditions of sci-fi, and another one decided, let's just go our own way. And like I said, if there was two versions, the Orville would be Gene Roddenberry's version. Yeah. It just would be. Maybe without the raunchy jokes there and here and there. But the overall aspect of the show, how it's run, it would be more
Guys, I mean, if you would have took, like I've said this before on the podcast, if you'd have took who did what to moment, you didn't know who did what show, you would think Orville was done by Star Trek. You would. You think it was a Star Trek show. You totally would.
Just remove the badges and any reference to the Federation or the Union. You'd think, whoa, this other show looks like some dark, bleak sci-fi show.
Discovery looks like some regular. Again, if it was that, it would be just an average sci-fi show, but it's not.
So, Justin Forrest, the one thing I hate more than the overuse of social commentary is spending most of an episode listening to annoying kids. In Star Trek Next Generation, it was explained how humans have evolved. The kids were shown to learn advanced mathematics and were shown as either highly intelligent or at least respectful. This episode shows that humans in this universe are just the same as they are now, which really makes me wonder how they ever got to the level of technological advancements that they have. I'm thinking that it would have been like on Next Generation if Wesley Crusher acted like these kids. Well, Crusher was older. He wasn't this. I think that her eldest son was like maybe 10.
Yeah, and he was kind of like a savant in his own way. Like, he was so intelligent. He even got to like beyond like the realm of time and space and energy.
Oh yeah, eventually.
The Traveler, so he wasn't a normal kid. And, so I don't know if that's the best example.
And I think that maybe she just has bad kids. Yeah. Kids are bad. Some kids are just mouthy.
And they try to show how many things ain't different. There are some similarities. Kids are going to be kids. Brothers are going to be competing for attention. Brothers are going to get in each other's throats.
Especially brothers that are very close in age like that.
That's a universal thing. And I'm glad that they show Orville shows that, like, oh yeah, they just have kids like we do, you know?
I can honestly say, yes, if you... I've always had young children in my life in one way or another, nieces, nephews, cousins. So I'm used to irritating kids, but I can see why someone wouldn't like this episode because of the children. If you don't have kids in your life and then you see these kids, like, my goodness, these kids are terrible, and they are.
But explain a little bit about Finn's background and how she has two kids and how she probably got these kids by just artificial means.
So there wasn't a father at home or a boyfriend or anything like that.
She just wanted to be a mom.
Yeah. So I give you that caveat. If you don't like children, you're probably not going to like this episode. But he did show him grow up at the end. Yeah. He did go out there to defend his mom and his brother.
Remember when he was talking about getting those deposits for the crystals or whatever? He knew that, and that was a smart thing. So I think their education level is pretty advanced. But again, maybe not exactly the emotional awareness that you want them to be like they were in Next Generation. But it doesn't bother me.
It wasn't so bad for me either. No. So, Chris McKay, odd that you mentioned the chairs in the shuttlecraft. I just bought one to celebrate the second season of the Orville. I will have my Orville watching chair here soon enough, and let the link for the type of chairs that are in the shuttle bay, the white ones. So,
I can't wait for the cosplays.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
I might even cosplay if I get enough money.
And it's a simple enough costume. It's not so ornate like the costumes in Discovery. The uniforms, they have all these little symbols and gold thingies on them. They're just...
I like it. They're just plain little, like,
they're just blue
jacket and you get the pants and you're ready to go.
So, Jeffrey Grimm, Isaac on parenting. On my planet, when a program is not functioning properly, it's deleted. If you wish, I will vaporize them. Damn, Isaac, the first cut the guy's leg off, and now you're offering kid to kill kids. Best character ever. He's just a pragmatic problem solver. Yeah. If this is a problem, get rid of it. See, but you can't. That's not how you
understand sarcasm. She was just kidding, but you didn't get that.
And in a machine, you can't teach a program to work better. It'd be better just to get rid of it and start from the beginning, but you don't do that with human beings.
No, you don't.
You can't just delete your children, right?
No, get rid of them. Yeah, go. Delete now.
Justin Forrest, I do like how without transporter technology, the dangers of the planet do actually have weight. Exactly. I think that was something Seth MacFarlane said from the beginning. I don't like transporters because it solves so many problems.
Yeah.
So even though they found them on that planet, they still had to get to them.
Exactly.
And it was cool when they came in and started shooting at all those guys.
But they still have shields. They still have replicators. So they have a lot of similar things to Star Trek. But again, I think the transporter, take rid of the transporter, gives it more adventure feel to it. We have to get there. We got to get to that planet. We got to hurry up. It gives an extra few more minutes of tension that you wouldn't have otherwise.
And they always have to come up with a way. Oh, there's ionic interference, so we can't use the transporters. There's always something they have to always write.
Yeah, they don't have to do that.
Yeah, they don't have to do that anymore.
No.
But he does have that little transporter thing.
But we don't know if he does or doesn't have it. It's hard. Why did he put it away? It's like...
It's so funny because it's like one of those boondoggles. It's just there. They'll bring it out if they need it.
Oh, I know, right?
Nebadan Adams. As an autistic uncle, I approve of Isaac's actions in this episode. I just love the fact that one of my favorite parts is when the kids were playing with the game and they're fighting over it. Isaac's solution: destroy the game, no more fight. That's basically how.
We'll never talk about it ever again. The game,
and forever banished from our conversation because even in that dire situation, these brothers were still being mouthy at each other, and it's like, kids are kids, and sometimes they just shut up.
Yeah, it wasn't until the younger brother got sick. Okay, then the other one's like, okay, you can't be like that now. I got to start being serious.
Same commenter, and again, I love it when you guys have so much more insight to like extra things that we didn't know about.
I think it always brings more richness to this podcast when we do your comments podcast episode.
Brian Thompson was the actor who played Dr. Finn's captor. He's in a lot of sci-fi TV, including X-Files. He was an alien hybrid. You have to puncture the brainstem at the base of the skull, etc. So that's kind of cool that the guy's been in a lot of other kind of sci-fi stuff. I didn't know that.
That's good. I mean, it's always good. Why not get people that are familiar with it? Yeah, who are familiar with these characters. I'm hoping the guy who played Wei-Yun from DS9 does. I think his name is Combs something. He's really good. He did Reanimator. He was in that too.
So, Shipmaster G? Geez, those a-hole kids need discipline. Everyone knows kids must be beaten daily, whether they require it or not. 'Tis the only way.
I know you're being kidding, but geez.
The thing is, yes, the kids were pretty jerky in this episode, but that's par for the course in my life. Like, yeah, I know kids just like that.
And again, already you have to remember, the older brother is already kind of ticked off because he don't want to go to this planet because then it's like a kid planet.
Yeah.
He's more, I'm a teenager now. I don't want to do that stuff anymore. So it's that when the teenagers don't want to do something, you know it's going to be bad the rest of the trip. Unless you're on a long road trip, they don't want to go to it.
So George Murrell, the Orville has had a bad episode. It's called About a Girl. I like that. I think that's my favorite episode.
Oh, that's my second favorite. Oh, I can no way. I mean, you can have your opinion, but I love that episode.
I love that episode too, but I can see why, since those kind of quote-unquote controversial episodes, how that can rub someone the wrong way. I like the idea that it rubbed people the wrong way. That's the whole point when we came to sci-fi. At its core is to show us things that could be, how things can happen, and then show us what the future could hold.
I think for some reason, sci-fi is unique, unlike other mediums, to have commentary. It's a lot easier to do, I think, as it lends itself technology, future, all that stuff kind of blends in. As I think for other genres, it's a lot harder to do, because it's more of a fantasy, if it's like a fantasy piece or whatever, or regular situation or superhero. So I think it's perfect for this kind of genre, personally.
I think this is a callback to the earlier episode before, but SOB Production says, is Isaac fully functional? Because remember he said he wanted to enter a sexual relationship with Catan?
I thought that was a couple episodes
back.
That a couple?
I still remember that, but I'm thinking, maybe? I guess he could fashion some type of device. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he studied it. So, okay, if you want to. And she's like, Catan's like, oh, no, it's okay. No, thank you.
Again, because Data was. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like he did have the functions of a full male body. So I'm assuming Isaac could whip something together.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That was a funny one. Francisco Cavallo talking about the translator. It was confirmed in this episode. Yes, Dr. Finn says, I guess my translator must be misfunctioning because this isn't, I don't consider this safe.
Yeah.
So they have universal translators.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's always something that you have to put in every sci-fi show, because how could alien races talk to each other?
And again, I know it's just a sci-fi thing, but like when other races don't have a translator, when they're speaking, how come when they're speaking, their mouths are moving in English? Wouldn't it be in a different language? But that's just sci-fi
It's a TV show.
TV, yeah.
Because think about it. We don't even speak the same language on this planet. So how in the heck do we expect other aliens to have such a grasp of the
English
language?
have to have at least over 100 different languages, if not more, on this planet,
So we have Vlad Drak II. The fact Isaac thinks so little of the people he works with, but still performs the best he can for them, shows that it's not what you think of someone that matters, but how you treat them. Yeah, that is true. Because he honestly thinks, he 100% believes that his race is the superior race, but he still fought for those children. He follows his captain's orders.
He had no emotions, though.
Yeah, but...
See, if it was the alien race that had emotions, I don't think they could do that.
Yeah,
they thought lesser of them.
But that goes to show you, does that make him superior? The fact that he could work with people he feels that are low beneath him, but still does his very best work?
And taking orders, too.
Yeah, and takes orders from a captain.
Yeah.
So does that make him better? I guess it kind of does it a little bit.
From Mercer and Kelly, he takes orders from me. Like, yeah, it might be.
Rodin Claus says, it says something when the episode ended and I didn't mind the prospect of seeing Marcus and Ty in a later episode. Maybe just small background scenes that flesh out the life on the ship, or another scene with Isaac. This episode seems to be devised based on what Claire did to Georgian or whatever his name was, but I really can't say I see a reason why. Newsflash, he kidnapped her and clearly had ambitions for her that would not have been favorable for her. Coupled with that, the virus, and it became a race against time to secure an escape and at means to protect herself, because the knife's not going to do jack ass out there. I'm still hoping that John gets another chance to redeem himself because of how his hands down the weakest link in the senior officers. At least now we've got a season or two to look forward to. I can only hope that we keep going strong. Yeah, I do like it again because it showed that she is a doctor, but she had to kill.
Yeah.
She tried to reason with her captor, wasn't going to work. Yeah. So she literally took every possible step to get where she needed to go.
As soon as she got a communicator, as soon as she got all that, he comes in the door because she couldn't escape because it was so high up. It was on the ground. I'm pretty sure she just would have got out of there.
Yeah, she would have just escaped.
But again, she wouldn't have had a gun at that point, so would that have been the best thing? Probably not.
And speaking about John, the other helmsman, he did have his episode last week with the up and down vote one, and majority rule. But I thought he did pretty decent in that episode, but he wasn't like the hero of the episode.
I think what John represents is like if a guy in 2017 was on the show. He's just a regular dude, that's what he is.
Anyone who's ever worked just a regular job. I remember I used to work at a Walmart and they would work in the back room. He's just like one of those cool guys that helps with stocking and he's always like nice to everyone. John,
you can see him as be a Walmart greeter. He just has that feel to him,
He's like that normal guy, hey, let's go get some, so he's just
if you see the first episode he's talking to him when he's trying to get to know the secret stuff, he goes, "What's up, man? Hey, what's going on?" Just that kind of guy. That's what I like about him. He's just a regular guy.
So, our next comment, Michael Aarons, 1701. There's also the fact that the only reason they found the moon with the diseased population in the first place was by the most random of chances, and yet the Orville still goes into charity mode to try to help them with their plight. It's not like they were going to the planet with any mission or answer or picked up a distress call that let them know about the planet that is suffering from a disease. Says a lot about how much they value life since chance brought them there and they stuck to their values. Yeah, exactly. They were still looking to help those people. Like, they got a disease, their planet got, they started using biological weapons. They still wanted to help those people.
The thing is, since they weren't surprised about alien races, so they must have been advanced enough to make ships, but somehow they got devastated because those bio agents into the water supply. So maybe they did have, in their equivalent, warp-capable ships. So that's why Orville can go in there and thus help them out because they knew about other alien cultures. So it wasn't a shock.
And like you said, the Union still, like they said, we'll send a message to the Union. Can we give them this cure, basically? But that's cool of them to do that. Instead of just saying, let's get out of this backwater planet, let these people die. They still wanted to save their lives.
And again, it's up to them if they take it or not.
Yeah.
So they'll get offer it.
So, I cannot say this name. Cetriya? Cetriya. Sorry if I messed that up. I think I've heard of some well-to-do ladies just going to get pregnant, or wasn't there a story about a guy selling his genes? For this episode, it had some good moments, but kind of okay for me. I didn't relate to the kids. Reminds me of why I don't have friends at that age. The constant screaming and yelling gave me a headache. Like I said, I can understand if your life doesn't involve around children or have boys at that age, especially two boys that are close in age. This was right at home. It was a little too much at home for me. But if you don't like kids, I can see why this episode would be.
It's so funny. Like in the first, I know this song and dance. What these kids are doing, I knew it all too well because I've been around so many Crimson with our nieces and nephews, and
little cousins. There's always somebody, right?
Yeah.
So, Winfred Hancock. This episode was great. As a parent of a daughter and two boys, I feel for Isaac. Raising children is tough. Even though Dr. Finn killed the kidnapper, Hippocratic rule be damned, the mother's instinct took over. As my wife would state, being a mother comes first before an occupation. Never stand between a mother and her children, especially when a child is sick. My touching moment in the show is when the older boy was talking to his mother on the communicator and saying how sorry he felt. He hasn't had that moment with their mother. I see Isaac really as a cool character in the show. As in the future, children will be children. I don't feel that will ever change. It's good to see everyday chit-chat aboard the starship as we've seen on the Orville. Again, great show and great job, guys. Keep it up. Again, thank you for the...
thank you for the compliment.
For the compliment. And then saying kids, especially young boys at that age, when they start to become teenagers, that's just how they are.
The Orville's trying to say it's a universal thing. No matter what time period you are, kids are going to be kids.
Yeah, and the whole thing...
Family rivalry and all that.
And then, because other people brought up in the comments about, oh, she killed that guy, she shouldn't have done that. She had no choice. I'm sorry.
I mean, the rifle didn't have a stun sitting. It wasn't like her phaser. So
yeah, it was a regular, full-on regular firearm.
What's she supposed to do? Keep him alive? Would have been better. Keep him alive to bleed out. Did you see any hospitals out there? Yeah. She couldn't save him, so at that point...
She had her basic medical kit, and that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Another funny thing is, too, I thought was really cool, that even though she was a doctor, she had weapons training.
Yeah.
And she knew how to shoot a gun and defend herself. She wasn't just like that doctor, like, I don't know how to use this gun. No, she went in there and fought.
And in fact, I didn't care. It didn't bother to me because it was done in a realistic way. Okay, she learned a firearm. Okay, there you go. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like some of the characters that are male in other shows, like Discovery, acting like a bunch of, I don't know, crybabies. Well, I don't know what to do. Oh, goodness.
Stefan Larner? What show did you watch? This show sucked. All I could do to get through it. Hope the kids are never seen or mentioned again. Again, if you don't like kids, you're probably going to hate this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I like this episode. I don't mind kids, but I can see why someone wouldn't like this episode.
No, I can see that, too.
Laxi 2008? They need to kick off Isaac. And I asked them why or her, and they never got back to me. So I don't know why would you say that.
I mean, Boris is my favorite character, but Isaac's number 2. Isaac's really strong.
And he's super smart. And he knows how to solve things, and he's a big asset to the ship.
Exactly.
And like the Orville, the Union wants to. I think the Union isn't as widespread and influential as the Federation is in Trek, because they're starting to reach out to other races. Oh, let's bring Isaac's race. I forget the name of their people. So we can maybe build bridges to their race. Even though they feel they're superior, they're still willing to talk to us.
Exactly.
Which is nice, because they want to build bridges, not burn them.
And that's a question. I wonder if for the planet they all look like Isaac, or they look more robotic.
Or is there different sizes?
Yeah, exactly. Because maybe he needs to look humanoid because he's on the Orville. I don't know. That's an interesting question. There's so many questions. I'm just excited. I want to see what the show's going to answer in future episodes.
So, 360 Whiplash. I barely watched the series for the first time, and I thought it was a really good episode. I was expecting slapstick comedy, but ended up getting the opposite instead. They keep things pretty serious with only just a few minor jokes, since the doctor and her kids and the robot found themselves in a nightmare situation in being stranded and having to fend for themselves on an unknown planet full of hostiles, mutated freaks. Yeah, exactly. This, when there are some episodes where it's like people did complain about, some of these jokes felt a little forced. And I can kind of see that, but this one, I think the comedy was done perfectly for this type of episode.
Yeah, I think why they did that, because McFarlane wanted to show, okay, humans still are humans, and then most of the jokes derive from all these other things don't understand our culture. See, and they can make jokes about that, which would make it funny if they knew those things like Avis, Kermit the Frog. Yeah. He's a leader to his people. Boris like, he's supposed to. See, there was creature.
And then you had like the Barry Manilow joke, but it felt more real. Because they were just working on the ship, and they were just listening to music, and it was just like a funny comment that you could maybe hear while you're at work working with your friends or whatever.
Exactly.
So, unlike the other episodes are going to have lots of silly stuff, what's his face getting his leg chopped off and all that. There was none of that in this episode.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head was another one.
In that same episode.
Luke Jackson. As always, this show is the best. Unfortunately, though, it's just never been long enough that they need a 2-part episode. Soon, and especially with the cast of actors they got are great. Never before until now have I fell in love with the cast of fictitious characters like I have on the Orville entire cast. As respecting its producers, especially Seth, the man who gave us this new excitement, there are some of the best groups of actors you could possibly have. The chemistry, the timing is dead on, and the girls are so hot and approachable at the same time. That's at least what it feels like to me. Again, this is a great cast. I think that, again, I'm sorry, Next Generation, I believe.
I fell in love with that cast, and I fell in love with DS9.
Yeah.
So I fell in love for the third time with this cast.
But I think this crew is, and they're definitely, they're not better than those crews, but they belong in the conversation.
Oh, yeah, but already, we're only talking about 8 episodes in. Imagine 2-3 years if it's at this level of writing. I'm telling you, like I said, it could start creeping up to that.
I love Isaac. I love Malloy. I love Mercer's a great captain. Yeah. Kelly's a good second in command. Katan's a cool character. I love all these characters.
I think Kelly grown into her own. I think she was a little bit off, especially the episode they went to that colony ship. But I think she's starting to grow into her own. I think she's doing pretty well.
I'm trying to think of the whole cast. There's no one that's like, I can't stand that character. No one like that. I like them all. I think they're all cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no one who say I really hate this character.
I say my least favorite character is Kelly, but even she's getting better.
Yes,
so even my least favorite character is still a fun character.
Oh, very much so.
So, again, in the episode we talked about, we forgot who was supposed to be the one piloting the ship, and then Cross let us know it was Lamar who was supposed to pilot the ship to the planet.
Yeah.
But instead it was Isaac. He got swapped out.
I'm just glad Isaac was in that situation.
Lamar that would have been for other funny situations, but I think Isaac's...
No, for survival, you want a android that's going to be able to protect you.
He doesn't get tired, he doesn't get hungry, and he'll fight for you. He's super strong, super smart. Yeah, you want that guy. I thought
it was kind of cute when he was doing Peter Contail and the voice of Finn.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah, that was a really cool scene. I like that juxtaposition of what she is saying and what's happening on screen. That was a really cool scene.
We talked about that before. Yeah. I mean, what a great little, exactly, to what was trying to escape. Be safe, but be careful, though, when you get out there. Yeah, that was awesome.
So, Jeffrey Grimm, into the glory hole. They might not value life, but we do. Coming from a woman who just murdered a man in cold blood, who just was trying to protect her from his devastated post-world. Parenting Rule 101, do as I say, not as I do. Showing that you can happen when you just between a mother and her kids when they're in danger. That woman definitely needs the JELLO in her life. Another great episode that could have been just average, thanks to Isaac and Claire's interactions. Understated humor worked in this episode's favor. All renewed season, second season. Boom. It wasn't murder. It was
killing.
And again, we did a little back and forth here, and it was self-defense. Yeah. If she would have pulled the gun out and she said, "Hey, get away from me," and he ran away and she shot him in the back, okay, that's freaking murder. But he rushed her. And that other guy was going to let her go.
First of all, I don't think there's any law anymore on this planet.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not saying it makes it right because there's still law in the Union. But, say like she didn't. Her kid could have died. And she would have stayed there. Who knows? It could have been a place where she tried to maybe accost her down the road. I mean, it's kind of that weird... Maybe he starts falling for her. Yeah, you need to get out of that situation.
Yeah, because,
it's a bad
again,
situation.
There could have been a physical assault and like a sexual assault. Okay, she was gauging the situation. She tried to sweet-talk him a little bit, and no, this guy was going to hurt me.
Maybe you could have made a good argument if there was no kids involved, if she had no kids, and it was just her. Maybe she could have played a little longer, but with kids involved, he's sick, I got to get out of here.
And a virus ravaging the planet, I got to get to my kids.
I got to get to my kids. Sorry, that takes precedent.
Again, I apologize for not pronouncing names correctly, but Don McGrath? Enjoyed your video as always, guys. Keep up the great work. I just have to say that somebody is definitely an aviation fan that works for the show. Unless you are doing a scene about aircraft specifically, this episode is another aviation Easter egg. By having the call-outs, you can hear what some of us call the Betty terrain call out that happens when you're too close to the ground at a high rate of speed or other conditions that trigger the call out warning. The show is awesome as always. Looking forward to next week's episode. And like the whole thing, warning, descent too fast, warning, and it just keeps in your ear, and then pilots will be like, just shut up, I know, stop telling me.
But again, that just tells you the detail. My pilot didn't have to do that, but he does it because he knows aviation 101, and he probably asks people, "Hey, how does this happen in this situation, that situation?" Because he loves the show. You can tell there's love there.
Yeah, that's little sprinkles like that, and then this.
And you can notice it too. People like this.
And if you're an aviation guy, that's a cool thing for you. And I wouldn't have thought about it, but you brought it up. Yeah, that is something that happens in actual aircraft.
They say warning, they're flashing lights, warning.
And it's one of those things where it's like you're trying to fix the problem, and you keep saying warning. Shut up! I don't want to hear it anymore.
Exactly.
But it's every little thing because what if you passed out or something like that? So it's letting you know that you're about to crash. And thank you for saying we do good episodes. I enjoy doing
this. We appreciate that.
And another commenter letting us know that it was supposed to be Lamar. Francisco Cavallo. Hey guys, another great review and not so subtle jab at supermoms. Think is okay to raise kids by themselves by choice. Isaac proves that a bit of tough love makes unruly brats, little angels behave. The Doctor has proven to be quite arrogant and a racist character. Last episode, she called Allura a washboard forehead, and then this she calls Isaac a hubcap. She also comes on episode 1 to serve the ship that needs her help, because, she's the only non-screw-up crew person on board of the Orville. She grows up on this episode, but but as did Isaac. But I think Isaac did a better job of the two. Also love the Princess Bride homage of the last scene between Isaac and Dr. Claire.
I think Finn's more sarcastic. I don't think she generally thinks like that about...
She's an older mom,
yeah.
And I think she understands she has to... I'm not making excuses, but again, she did call what's-her-face washboard head, but I think it was just in that scenario, she's like, you gotta cover your damn head up.
Yeah.
So she wasn't just walking around and she's in the mess hall, hey, calling her a name. No, it wasn't a...
Yeah, these are
context.
These are also like, besides like the beginning episode when she called Isaac that, 'cause that was before the situation. I think it's just like a term and a dimmer. I don't think she means it as a put down. I don't feel that for her.
It's not to her. It'd be like, just because they both work together, and now I think they have a mutual respect of each other now.
Oh yeah,
she might have thought lowly of Isaac, but after he literally saved her children's lives,
he's like de facto uncle now of the family. Yeah, that's how I see.
He's the cool uncle.
Yeah.
The cool hubcap uncle.
There you go.
And then what you said, the Princess Bride homage at the end, because Isaac as you wish kind of situation. And that's kind of fun. I don't know if that was or wasn't, but it's cool though if it was.
Well, it probably was. McFarlane. Yeah. So McFarlane's doing it, I'm pretty sure.
So our next comment, FCOLD. It would be nice for the last part of the show if Dr. Finn had some effects from having to kill those people. They made such a point of her telling her sons don't kill people right after she just killed 2 people. Perhaps this is they address in a further episode, a little PTSD or something. But that would seem to be too much. I would have just preferred just a little quick self-reflection at the end of the episode. But we would have missed Isaac's growth. So the writer-director had to make a choice. Don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything immoral about her actions, but for that character in that society, you would think would have some emotional effect on her. As I like to say, the way they framed it into the show, she kills 2 people, goes back to impress on her son during a life and death shootout, that they're not like those people and they value life, paraphrase. Just seems to be that they were setting up something. They had phasers. Yeah. She only had a real gun. It's not like her real gun had a safe setting. She's like, haha, no, I want to kill this guy.
Exactly.
She had to make a do or die situation.
I don't think she's necessarily going to look at it as, oh, you know what, I shouldn't have done all that. She's going to look, I had no choice. I guarantee that's how she's thinking.
And I know, and I brought this up. I go, it would be nice that maybe in a later episode she's a little gun shy.
That would be interesting. Maybe
she freezes a little bit because she thinks about killing those other 2 people. And it did affect her. Even though she thinks it didn't affect her, maybe in a further episode, maybe it might have a...
Oh, funny, oddly enough, she might have kept that gun, too. Wouldn't that be funny if she had it?
That'd be cool.
And she's kind of looking at it, she's like, oh, I did kill people with that. And it triggers what happened in that little moment, maybe. But I want it to be brief. I don't want it to become a whole episode.
Yeah, because this isn't Dr. Finn's show.
Yeah.
This is about everyone on the ship.
Yeah, it needs to be a brief little 5-minute thing, I think.
But if they didn't do it, it would feel kind of lame that she didn't have anything affect on it.
I said 5 minutes.
Small little thing,
Small little thing, like you said. I agree with you on that point.
And then, Mom Artist, I believe I'm saying that right. Has Isaac done anything superhuman yet? He's super strong.
Yeah.
That's when they did bring that up, and he was able to, just...
And remember, his brain went to the ship, too. When he got shocked, because he's like, oh, wait a minute, this is super advanced, and then he freaking got electrocuted.
And our final comment, Firestone Eggs. If I acted like this when I was a kid, I would have been disciplined severely. The one thing I hate about how liberal everything has gotten these days, and it's that you can't discipline your children without social backlash or calling it abuse. I would agree. If I acted this way and my father was still alive and I was a 10 or 11 acting like this, I would have got...
But I think Isaac was stern, though. I think he did show stern.
But there was no, spanking or whatever. No.
But he grabbed that game out of his hands. Sean, okay, we're not going to talk about this game ever again.
I do like, again, I don't know if this was again, I just thought of this. Finn has children, but there's no father or boyfriend. There's no male figure. Yeah. Isaac kind of became that male figure of, oh, mom is nice. Yeah, she's yelling at the kids, but she never seemed to be disciplining them. Yeah. Isaac was kind of the bare knuckles, okay, dad's, quote unquote, dad's talking now. So maybe it's a shuttle jab at people saying, hey, you do need a 2-parent home. Is that what they're saying? Maybe a little bit?
You know what? With Orville, I maybe. That would be interesting. That's a a point. I didn't even think about that.
I just thought about that right now.
That's an interesting aspect. That's an interesting aspect I didn't think of. Thanks for the letting us think in that direction, Firestone next.
Yeah, was this a commentary on a 2-parent house?
Maybe.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Good on you, Seth, if it was. Because it goes to show you, wasn't things a lot better when there was 2 adults?
Yeah, exactly.
Even though one of the adults is a robot man.
Hey, remember, Robot Man, there could be a slime guy.
Yeah, Kip could be up in this. And you did bring this up how he was actually concerned about... He didn't call her Dr. Finn, he called her Claire. So that was a really cool... I remember you were bringing that up when we were talking about it. And that's like... It shows you, he says, "Oh, I want to date you" and everything. He actually cares about it, which is nice.
Yeah, but he wants to play like, "Oh, I just like you." Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just like you because you're beautiful. No, he truly does like care about her.
Exactly.
So that's gonna finish up the comments. Thanks, a lot of great comments again. Positive, negative. Some people.
See, I didn't think it was gonna be so. We're gonna get too many. I wouldn't say trolls, but political, negative, political, because it was a political episode.
No. That was again about the single mom stuff, but again, it was subtle and it was light and wasn't bashed over your head.
That for like an hour. Wasn't that?
So we're just finishing up the comments episode. We're going to watch a new episode, probably in the next 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll have that episode up.
We're going to probably try to do the comment episodes on Wednesday to get these recorded into the Thursday. I know why we've been waiting for.
It's just that certain things get caught up, and there's got to find quiet time and all that. But again, thanks so much for all the comments. We love making these videos. Without your comments, this video is impossible.
Oh, no. I mean, I am so amazed that we're getting at least on average 50, 60 comments.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. It's cool.
It's incredible. I'm shocked. I thought the most we get like 10 comments, and we'd have to do these episodes once every 3 weeks.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's a lot of good comments on the Enterprise on Discovery. Oh, yeah. And there's going to be a break. And then I
think one more episode, and then we're going to get 2 months break, which I'm so excited.
We'll do a satirical best episodes of Discovery just to do a funny, and we'll cover comments on each episode. I think we should do one.
Would any of these episodes even be in our top 10 list of Orville episodes? Yeah. Probably not. I could do that podcast now. No,
we'll do something fun for Discovery. We've been kind of teasing at it, but we'll set something up for it. Oh, again, thank all of you. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Yeah. Let people know you comment on these guys' videos. We'll answer your questions and read your comments.
Yeah, we would love to get even more comments and more people watching. So please keep spreading our podcast to your friends and all that.
I've seen people were sharing it on Reddit and stuff. Just let us know. Even you'll say, hey, by the way, I shared this thing so I can see the comments there. And if there's good comments there, I'll bring them into this show.
Yep.
There was a comment on Google Plus, and I thought I saved it and I didn't. So I apologize if you were that one person who commented on Google Plus. I lost your comment, and then
we're gonna try to search these comments and other things.
Yeah, and get them all concise.
You gotta let us know though, or we won't be able to do that.
So thanks again. Love making these episodes. Love reading your comments. And I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm Mid 15 PCA.
Thanks for watching.
See you later. Bye.